Hi everyone! In this video, I will discuss an important technique of integration called integration by parts. This is essential because of its applications in differential equations, feedback and control systems, and signal analysis. We use integration by parts usually when we are integrating a product of two functions. Kagaya nito, here we have x, which is a power function multiplied by an exponential function. Here we have a power function times cosine of x, which is a trigonometric function. However, we can also use integration by parts to derive the integral of a single function, like the integral of the ln of x and the integral of the inverse tangent of x. So, let's have an example here that illustrates when to use integration by parts. Consider the indefinite integral x times e raised to x squared dx. So how are we going to integrate this function? Can we integrate this using the familiar u substitution? Okay, so if we let this x squared be equal to u, so we let u be equal to x squared, my du would be 2x dx, and this x dx would be replaced by 1/2 of du. And this e to the x squared would simply become e raised to u. So, thus we can express this in terms of u. 1/2 times the integral of e raised to u du. And we know already how to get the integral of e raised to u. That's e raised to u also, where u is x squared. Lagyan lang natin ang constant of integration. So, this problem can easily be solved using the familiar u substitution. However, what if I remove the square here? What if I just want to integrate x e to the x dx? Kaya pa ba yan ng u substitution? Kapag pinalitan natin yung x ng u, ang mangyayari is ito magiging u e to the u du. So, basically what's happened is just we replaced the variable x with u, but there is no progress, no? Hindi natin mai-integrate kasi ganun din ang itsura niya. The form is just the same. And this is a situation that requires the use of this integration technique, integration by parts. Okay? So, itong integration by parts na ito, kinakailangang ma-express mo yung given in a form that looks like this. Integral of u dv. Okay, so you should be able to express the given integral in this form, integral of u and then dv. So here, pipili tayo kung alin ang gagawin natin na u. No, is it x or is it e to the x? At yung matitira, yun yung dv natin. Okay? So bago natin isolve ang problem na ito, let us first derive the formula that we will use for integration by parts. Saan ba nanggaling ang formula na ito? Sa bawat integration process, there is a corresponding differentiation process. Why? Because we know these two are opposite processes of each other, right? Okay. So, itong integration by parts, ano ang katumbas nito doon sa derivatives? Okay. So, integration by parts is the analogous process for the derivative of a product. Ayan. So, we are familiar with the derivative of a product. Ano nga iyon? D of uv. Right? So, ano ba ang derivative of a product? So, dito, hindi ko na lang inilagay yung over dx. So, that means differential lang yan. No? Pero parang ganun din, derivatives pa rin. Okay? So, now, ano ba ang d of uv? Applying the formula for the derivative of a product, that becomes u dv plus v du. Right? Now, we will do is to integrate both sides. So, dito isa lang naman ang term. If I performed integration on the left side, it will cancel the differential here. And what will remain is just uv. Right? And here, since we have two terms, integrate natin yan parehas. Integral of u dv plus the integral of v du. Now, makukuha na natin yung gusto nating makuha. No? Remember, kinakailangan ma-express mo siya in this form, the integral of u dv. So, here is the integral of u dv. Kukunin natin yan. The integral of u dv is now equal to this uv minus this term, the integral of v times du. Okay, so this is now the formula that we will use when we perform integration by parts. Okay, so that is why you need to memorize this formula. Okay, tandaang mabuti, sulat natin ulit. The integral of u dv is equal to uv minus the integral of v times du. Once again, isulat ulit natin. The integral of u dv is equal to uv minus the integral of v du. Okay? So, kinakailangan, again, ma-memorize mo siya. Now, mag-solve tayo ng example problems para ma-demonstrate natin kung paano gamitin ang formula na ito. Example number 1, let us solve the problem kanina, no? Kung saan sabi natin ay kailangan na gumamit ng integration by parts. The integral of x, e to the x dx. So, sabi natin kanina, paano mo malalaman kung gagamit ka ng integration by parts? Una, hindi gumana ang u substitution. Okay? Pangalawa, by inspection, ayan, product ng dalawang magkaibang functions. Kaya, agad maiisip mo, kailangan niya ng integration by parts. Diba? And we know that when we use integration by parts, tayo ay naglelet ng u. Alin dyan ang gagawin mong u? At alin ang gagawin mong dv? Remember that the integral of u dv is equal to uv minus the integral of v du. Right? So, alin yung gagawin mong u at alin yung gagawin mong dv? Okay. So, there is actually a rule of thumb. Okay? The function u is chosen, ano ba to? Chosen such that du over dx is simpler than u. Anong ibig kong sabihin? Kung pipili ka kung alin ang gagawin mong u, kung x ba yan or e to the x, dapat yung makukuha mong derivative simpler, mas simple, kumpara dun sa kinunan mo ng derivative. Dito naman, obvious eh. Obvious. Bakit? Kasi pag kinunan mo ng derivative yung x, ang makukuha mo 1. And 1 is simpler because it's a constant. Diba? Pag ito naman ginawa kong u, e to the x. Diba? Tapos, ang derivative niya, e to the x pa rin, so walang nagbago. That's why the suitable u here is actually x. Diba? So, kung ang u ay equal sa x, ano yung du? Yung du natin, of course, is dx. Next, ano naman yung dv? Kasi kung may u, may dv. Yung dv, yun yung matitira. So, yung natira is e raised to x dx. Next, from dv, kukunin natin ngayon yung v. So, to get v, we just integrate. No? Ano ba ang integral ng e to the x dx? That's simple. E to the x, di ba? Napakadali niyan. Okay? So, meron na tayo ngayong u and v na pwede nating i-substitute dito sa formula para sa integration by parts. Now, however, what if there are other functions aside from a power function and an exponential function? Alin yung gagawin natin na u? Okay? So, here is a simple mnemonic kung saan malalaman natin kung alin dapat ang i-prioritize mo na u. Okay? I late. You are late. I late. No? Anong ibig sabihin ng I late na yan? Ibig sabihin lang yan, inverse, trigonometric, logarithmic, algebraic, trigonometric, and exponential. Okay? So, yan ang ating order of precedence mula sa pinaka-priority. So, kung meron kang dalawa, halimbawa, meron kang logarithmic at meron kang algebraic, yung logarithmic, yung gagawin mo na u. Okay? Halimbawa, dito sa problem na to, ang magkasama is algebraic kasi power function siya, 'di ba? At ang kasama niya exponential. Kaya ginawa nating u, yung x, kasi mas priority siya. So, alin yung least priority? Exponential. Okay? So, tandaan natin yan, I late. Now, let's solve this problem by copying integral of x, e raised to x dx equals. We know that this is your u dv, right? Ito yung u dv mo. So, ano yung u times v? Ito yun, no? U times v. Okay, so, x e raised to x minus the integral of v du. Ay, alin ba yung v? Ito, e to the x. At ano yung du? dx. Ayan. Now, pwede ba natin i-integrate itong pangalawang term sa right side? Yes. At dahil pwede na natin siyang i-integrate, copy ko lang to. E to the x minus, ano ba ang integral ng e to the x? E to the x pa rin. O, tapos na. That's it. Lagyan lang natin ang constant of integration. Okay? So now, meron na tayong formula. Sulat ko dito ha, palitan natin yung color para ito na yung mismong i-memorize mo. X e to the x dx is equal to, dito meron tayong common factor, e to the x, and then we have x minus 1 plus c. Okay? So this is one of the commonly occurring integrals in differential equations. Kaya, pag yan ay na-encounter mo, hindi ka na mag-i-integration by parts. I-memorize mo na lang to. Okay? Again, memorize mo na yan. Para pag na-encounter mo siya in the future, hindi ka na mag-i-integration by parts. Okay? How about another example? Example number 2, t squared e to the t dt. So, para bagang kanina, x e to the x dx. Kaso nga lang, yung power function naging quadratic, di ba? So, dito gagamit pa rin tayo ng integration by parts and ano ang suitable gawin na u. So, again, mas una ang power function kasi algebraic siya, kaya siya yung gagawin nating u. Siya yung mas priority. Let u be equal to t squared and of course, our du is 2t dt. So, yung matitira, yun yung dv. Divisoria. E raised to t dt. So, yung v natin, of course, is e raised to t. So, now, remember that, again, the integral of u dv, paulit-ulit, para hindi nyo makalimutan, is equal to uv minus the integral of v times du. Okay? Kopyahin lang natin. Palitan natin ang color. The integral of, ito yon, t squared e raised to t dt equals, yung u times v is ito, u times v. So, t squared e raised to t minus the integral of v du. So, we have e raised to t and then du, which is 2t times dt. Okay. Now, by inspection, itong constant na to pwede nating ilabas. Ay! At may matitira tayo ditong e to the t times t dt. Diba? Okay, gawin natin to ha. Rewrite ko lang. T squared e raised to t minus 2 times sa integral of, unahin ko lang tong t. T e to the t dt. Okay, ito ba ma-integrate na natin? Actually, yan yung in-integrate natin sa example 1, di ba? Kanina lang x yung variable. So that means ito a-applyan mo ulit ng integration by parts, di ba? So ibig sabihin, ang problem, it requires integration by parts. Na kailangan uli ng isa pang integration by parts. Yes, that's possible. Pero sabi ko nga sa inyo, i-memorize nyo na para pag na-encounter nyo, di ba? Hindi ka na mag-integration by parts, no? So if you recall, the integral of t e to the t dt, which is the same as the integral of x e to the x dx. Ano ba yon? That's e raised to t, di ba? Times, eto, balik natin sa kanina. Yan. E raised to x times x minus 1. So, yung x papalitan lang natin ng t yan. E raised to t times t minus 1, of course, plus the constant of integration. Okay? So, i-rewrite natin to ngayon para ang final answer ay maging t squared e raised to t minus, multiply mo lang naman ang buong to, di ba? 2 times e raised to t multiplied by t minus 1 plus the constant of integration. That's it. Ganun lang kasimple. Ano? So, ayan. The integral of t squared e raised to t dt is equal to this expression. Kung napansin nyo, kapag nag-integration by parts tayo, dalawang terms ang sagot. Okay? Parang yung kanina. No? Let's take a look. Ayun, dalawang terms. Kasi ito, pag dinistribute natin, 2 terms. Dito, actually, naging 3 terms pa nga eh. Diba? Okay. Let's solve another example. Example number 3. This time, we have a definite integral. The integral of x cosine x dx. Evaluate from 0 to 2. Okay, so here, what we have is a power function and a trigonometric function. Ano ang mas priority na gawing u? Yung x or yung cosine x? Remember, that's I late. Okay? Yung x ay algebraic. Tapos yung cosine x ay trigonometric. So, mas priority na gawing u yung x. So, we let u be equal to x. And of course, du equals dx. On the other hand, yung dv natin ay magiging yung natira, cosine of x dx, from which we can solve for v by integrating this. Ano bang integral ng cosine? That's positive sine x. So now, we will write the integral of x cosine x dx using the formula for integration by parts. That's uv, so x sine x minus the integral of v du, right? V du. So we have sine x times du, which is equal to dx. Is this integrable? Yes. Okay, kopyahin ko lang to. So x times sine of x minus, ano bang integral ng sine x? That's negative cosine of x. Of course, lagyan natin ang constant of integration. Now, sulat na natin yung entire expression. The integral of x cosine of x dx is equal to x sine x minus minus becomes positive, and then cosine of x plus c. That's it. So again, we have a new formula here because this is commonly occurring. So kung commonly occurring yan, hindi mo na kinakailangang i-integration by parts yan. If ever, you will encounter this problem in the future. So again, i-memorize mo na yan. However, the original problem here is a definite integral. So that means we have to evaluate this upper minus the lower limit. Okay? So lagay ko dito, the integral of x cosine x dx equals, so itong x, papalitan ko ng upper limit which is pi over 2. Pi over 2 times sine of pi over 2 is 1. And then plus cosine of pi over 2 is 0. Tapos minus. Para naman sa lower limit, papalitan natin itong mga x dito ng 0. So pag ito pinalitan ko ng 0, ito magsi-0 na. Tapos, cosine of 0 is 1. So, we have this. Now, lagyan natin ng limits from 0 to pi over 2. So, now the integral from 0 to pi over 2 of x cosine x dx equals pi over 2 minus 1. Or, that's equal to pi minus 2 over 2. So that's it. We have a numerical answer here because the problem is a definite integral. O, di ba madali lang? Kaya, again, i-memorize nyo na to ha. Try nyo namang gawin as an exercise. Ito. What if yan ay gawin kong x sine x dx? Ano kaya ang makukuha nating sagot? Tingnan nyo ha, x cosine x dx, ang sagot x sine x plus cos x. What if gawin ko siyang x sine x dx? Ano kaya yung magiging sagot? Diba? So again, that could be an exercise after you watch this video para ma-practice yung integration skill. Let's solve example number 4. This time, let's derive the formula for the integral of the natural logarithm, the integral of ln x. So in this problem, we don't have a choice kung alin ang gagawin mong u. Kasi siya lang naman yung present, di ba? So matik dito, ang gagawin natin na u ay yung ln x, di ba? At ang du is dx over x. Tapos yung natira, yun yung dv. Yung dx, yun lang di ba? Tapos, of course, yung v, that is simply x. Now, using integration by parts, yung formula na meron tayo kanina, ano nga yan? The integral of u dv is equal to uv, u times v. So, unahin ko na yung x. X times ln x minus the integral of v du. Okay? So, we have v and then du. Okay? So, we have x multiplied by dx over x. Ay, shit! Itong dalawang to makakancel. Kaya ang matitira na lang dito, integral of dx. Eh, di ba x yun? So, magiging x ln x minus x na lang yan. And then plus c. Okay? So, now let's write here the formula for the integral of ln x. May common factor. So, gawin ko lang common factor yung x. And then, ln x minus 1 plus c. Idagdag na ito sa table of integrals na kailangan nyong i-memorize. Para bagang dito sa topic na to, yung mga examples na ginagawa ko, di ba? Yun ay derivation ng isang generic na formula or common formula na laging na-encounter. Okay? O, para naman maiba, no? Ito, hindi generic. Okay. Integral of e raised to 2x times cosine of 3x dx. So, dito meron tayong dalawang functions, exponential at saka trigonometric. Alin yung mas priority na gawing u? Exponential or trigonometric? Eh, di ba yung exponential laging least priority? Kaya, matik, ang gagawin nating u ay yung cosine of 3x. So, that du would be 3. Ay! Derivative ng cosine negative. Negative 3 sine of 3x dx. Next, yung dv, which is equal to e to the 2x and dx. So, for v, this becomes 1/2 times e raised to 2x. Okay? So, that's it. Meron na tayo ngayong u at saka meron na tayong v. Gamitin na natin yung integration by parts. Yung formula niya. Ano nga yun? Itong given niya yung u dv. So, e to the 2x times the cosine of 3x dx equals u times v. Diba? So, kapag itong u at saka itong v pinag-multiply ko, magiging 1/2 times e raised to 2x multiplied by cosine of 3x. And then minus the integral of v and then du. Right? Okay. Minus the integral of v du. However, meron tayo ditong constants. 1/2 at saka negative 3. So, minus, magiging negative yon. Negative of 3/2 na lang. Nilabas ko na siya. Tapos, integral of, di ba, v du yon? So, e to the x times sine 3x dx. Ayan. Okay, simplify natin para maganda siyang tingnan. So, we have 1/2 times e raised to 2x times cosine of 3x minus minus is plus. So, plus 3/2 times the integral of e raised to 2x times sine 3x dx. Tanong, ito ba'y may integrate na natin? Hindi pa, di ba? Hindi pa. Kaya, ang gagawin mo is applyan mo siya ng isa pang integration by parts. Okay? So, for that, palitan natin yung ink. Para sa pangalawang to, yung gagawin nating u, priority pa rin yung trigonometric, is sine 3x. Tapos yung du, that will be 3 times cosine x dx. And our dv is yung natira, e raised to 2x dx. To solve for v, that is 1/2 times e raised to 2x. Now, kopyahin ko lang to. 1/2 times e raised to 2x times cosine of 3x plus 3/2 times, yung buong to, papalitan ko na again ang uv minus the integral of v du. Ito naman siya. uv, so magiging 1/2 times e raised to 2x, ito siya, times this, sine 3x minus the integral of v du. Okay? V and then du. So, magkakaroon lang ako dito ng 3 halves. 3 halves times the integral of e to the 2x times cosine x. Actually, cosine 3x dapat yun eh. This should be cosine 3x. Yan. dx. Okay. So, ang gawin natin is, pwede pa ba natin itong i-simplify? Simplify ko lang ha. Sulat natin sa kabilang slide. So, ito na siya ngayon. So, meron tayong tatlong terms dito, di ba? Tatlong terms. However, ito ba pwede na nating i-integrate? Kung mapapansin mo, itong term na to at itong term na to ay similar. Di ba? So, kung similar yan, ito pwede kong ilipat sa kabila at pagsamahin. Di ba? So, magkakaroon tayo ng 1 plus 9 over 4. So, 1 is 4 over 4. 4 plus 9 is 13. So, dito magkakaroon tayo ng 13 over 4 times the integral of e raised to 2x times cosine of 3x dx. Tapos, copy lang natin to. 1/2 e raised to 2x cosine of 3x plus 3/4 e raised to 2x sine of 3x. Okay, now, ang kailangan na lang natin gawin is kuhanin to. So, to get this, we need to multiply both sides of the equation by 4 over 13. Diba? Mumultiply natin yan ng 4 over 13 para mag-cancel to. So, ang matitira na lang is itong term na to, which is yan yung hinahanap natin. Diba? Sulat natin. This becomes the integral of e raised to 2x cosine of 3x dx. This will be equal to 4 over 2, that's 2 over 13. So, we have 2 over 13 e raised to 2x cosine 3x plus, shit, magka-cancel yung 4. So, magiging 3 over 13 na lang siya. 3 over 13 e raised to 2x sine of 3x. Okay, so lagyan lang natin dito ng constant of integration plus c. Okay, so we now have an answer. Pero pwede pa natin itong simplify kasi obviously meron tayong common term. Ang common term natin is same denominator. So 1 over 13 e raised to 2x. Sulat natin yan na integral of e raised to 2x cosine of 3x dx equals, ano nga yung common factor? That's e raised to 2x over 13 times, dito may natirang 2 cosine of 3x at dito may natirang 3 sine of 3x and then plus c. Okay, so this is now our simplest answer. Okay, meron na tayong final answer dito. So, kapag ka nag-exam kayo, dapat detailed rin yung solution. No? Kung paano ako mag-solve, dapat ganun din kayo mag-present ng inyong solution, detalyado. Okay? Para magandang tingnan at madaling i-check. Now, guys, meron tayong generic formula para dito. Gusto kong i-share sa inyo yung shortcut. Ano ba yung shortcut formula para dyan? Yung integral ng e raised to ax multiplied by cosine of bx dx equal yan dito. Okay, kopyahin mo lang yung exponential e raised to ax. Tapos, divide mo siya ng a squared plus b squared. Yan. Tapos, unahin mo yung a. Tapos, kung cosine to, cosine din ang mauuna. Cosine of bx. Dahil cosine plus b naman. And then, sine bx pa rin. Okay? Plus c. Okay, so this is now the formula for this particular indefinite integral. And you can use this to check if our answer is correct. Okay? So, ayan. Ngayon, ang gusto ko naman is as an exercise, gawin nyo to. Ano naman yung integral? What if ito gawin kong sine? Ano ang integral ng e to the ax multiplied by sine of bx dx naman siya. Saan siya equal? Okay. So, yung format niya halos kagaya lang nito. Halos. May mga pagkakaiba lang na konti. No? So, what I want you to do is to derive the formula for this form of indefinite integral. Okay? Now, let's solve the last and final example for this episode. Let's evaluate the definite integral of the inverse tangent x dx. So, definite integral ito. Kaya dapat ang makuha nating final answer is or has a numerical value. Diba? So, dito, ano ang gagawin natin na u? Ano? Choice ka kasi isa lang yung given na function. Diba? Yung u dyan, matic, yung inverse tangent of x. Tapos, yung du, ano ba ang derivative ng inverse tangent? Diba? That's 1 over 1 plus x squared dx. Diba? Ganyan siya. Tapos, yung dv, of course, is yung dx. And here, v is simply equal to x. Now, let's apply the formula for integration by parts. Ano nga yun? Ang integral ng u dv is equal to uv, u times v. Unahin ko lang yung x. X times tangent inverse of x minus the integral of v du. Diba? So, v times this. So, magiging x over 1 plus x squared dx. So, I can just copy this x tangent inverse of x minus. Is this integrable? Yes, we can integrate it using the familiar u substitution. So, for u substitution, anong gagawin natin dyan na u? Yung gagawin natin na u ay edi itong magiging 1 plus x squared yan. 1 plus x squared. Tapos yung du is 2x dx. Kung saan itong x dx, pwede kong palitan ng 1/2 of du. So, magiging ano siya? 1/2 of the integral of du. Tapos, yung buong denominator, yan yung u. So, magiging 1/2 times du over u yan. Diba? Ano ba ang integral ng du over u? That's ln, right? So, x tangent inverse of x minus 1/2 times ln of, okay, ito kasing 1 plus x squared, kahit ano pa ang value ng x, sigurado tayo laging positive yan. Kaya hindi na kailangan ng absolute value. 1 plus x squared na lang siya. Okay? And then, plus c. Okay? This is the integral of the inverse tangent of x. However, ang problem natin is a definite integral. Kaya ito dapat i-evaluate natin. Upper minus the lower limit. So, dito, sulat natin yung para sa definite integral. Ito naman, para lang may ma-memorize kayo. Ano ang integral ng inverse tangent of x dx? So, from 0 to 1. Okay, x. So, 1 times, ano ba ang inverse tangent ng 1? Di ba, pi over 4? Okay, so that's pi over 4 minus 1/2 times, kapag ito ay 1, ay di ln of 2, right? Then, minus lower limit. Yung lower limit natin ay 0. Kaya dapat ito, papalitan ko ng 0. So, 0 na tong buong term na to. Tapos, may matitira dito na 1/2 ln of 1. Kasi ito 0. Ano ba ang ln of 1? ln of 1 is 0 also. So, 0 pa rin siya. Diba? So, now our final answer is pi over 4 minus ln of 2 over 2. Okay, so this is now our final answer. Okay, so that's it. Nakita nyo na kung paano gamitin ang integration by parts para makuha ang integral ng product of two functions or sometimes even just a single function like this. So as an exercise, pwede nyo gawin ito. Actually, ito yung binigay ko kanina, e to the at sin bt. Yung kanina nga lang, sabi ko sa inyo, x. Ito naging t lang, di ba? You can use integration by parts to derive the integral for the inverse cosine of x. So, that's it. We're done for this topic. So, if you like this video, please hit the like button and share this video to your friends na nag-aaral ng integral calculus. Thank you for watching and for your support. Bye!